Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó tọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ètò Let's talk traditional wedding ó lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n. Let's talk traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram, every Tuesday on Facebook.
Hey,
6 p.m. UK time, every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún ni lóye. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún ni lóye. Let's talk
traditional weddings. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí, ẹ̀yin tèmi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi. Mo kára lé, mo kérò ọ̀nà, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kọ́mọdé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àgbàlagbà wípé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Lórí ètò làwà, ètò wa, ètò yín, ètò kan náà tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí ètò ìgbéyàwó. Let's talk traditional weddings and more with Bùnmi the Royals. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lórí ètò yìí kó tó di pa aṣọ òkòhùn. Ṣé ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ka jùlọ ọba kọ́dá ayé, ọba ṣẹ̀dá ọ̀run, ọba lánàá, ọba lénìí, ọba títí ayérayé kọrin kése, ọba tá a dágbére fún lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá pé à ń lọ kábọ̀, tó jẹ́ kó tún ṣeéṣe fèmí àti yín láti délé ní láyé láàyè àti láyé rere. Ààrùn fáyọ̀ bí òṣọpẹ́, ẹlẹ́bùrú ìkẹ́, ọba tó tó bá pa, ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba, àdúpẹ́ dúpẹ́ dúpẹ́. Ẹ ṣeun olúwa, ẹ dúpẹ́ kẹgbà yín wa. Àtúpàtìkò náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn bí èèyàn, àwọn ẹni bí ẹni tí wọ́n ṣagbátẹrù ètò yìí, pàápàá jùlọ iléeṣẹ́ Chorus Jewels and Laces, iléeṣẹ́ tó tó gbangba sùn lọ yẹ níbi tó ti ń taṣọ ìyàwó, tìyá ìyàwó lẹfẹ́ ni, ti bàbá ìyàwó lẹfẹ́ ni, tọkùnrin lẹfẹ́ ni, tọmọdé lẹfẹ́, tàgbà lẹfẹ́ ni. Ohunkóhun tó bá fẹ́ fi ṣayẹyẹ ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ Chorus Jewels and Laces. Iléeṣẹ́ Chorus Jewels and Laces, ẹ ṣeun iléeṣẹ́ yóò ní jóná owó yẹn á máa ròkè o. Àtúfàsìkò náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ Lizelle Fabrics all the way from Dallas, Texas. Ẹ ṣeun iléeṣẹ́ Lizelle Fabrics, ẹ ṣeun iléeṣẹ́ Television International Magazine, níbi tí wọ́n ti ń báyàn yàwòrán, tí wọ́n ti ń báyàn gbé ayẹyẹ sórí ẹ̀rọ magazine. Iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine, thank you so much for your unending support. Iléeṣẹ́ First Rate Global, níbi tí wọ́n ti ń báyàn ralẹ̀ kọ́lé ní Nàìjíríà. Ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú àdúrótì, iléeṣẹ́ yìí ò ní jóná. Gbogbo àwọn ẹni bí ènìyàn tí wọ́n ti rapọ̀ mọ́ mi lórí ètò yìí, àti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa. Ẹ ṣeun, a kú àdúrótì. Àsìkò ọdún, àṣeyí ṣàmọ́dún lórúkọ Jésù, àṣeyí ṣàmọ́dún inshallah, àṣeyí ṣàmọ́dún lọ́lá Ọlọ́run. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wá mọ̀ wípé léni báyìí, níbi tèmi ti wá o, ọdún tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ léni ni. Kó tó di pé aṣọ òǹkóhun lórí ètò yìí, mo fẹ́ fi yé gbogbo àwọn wáyé pé Olúwabùnmi lèmi jẹ́ aya òṣèbẹ̀rù tí wáyé mọ̀ sí Bùnmi the Royals, alága ìdúró, alága ìjókòó, MC, olóòtú ètò ìgbéyàwó with godly swagger. Ó fàsìkò etí kó gbogbo àwọn pé Eid Mubarak, àṣeyí ṣàmọ́dún Ọlọ́run nífẹ̀ẹ́ lè ṣàṣemọ̀ lọ́lá Ọlọ́run ọba. Kó tó di pé a gbé àkórí ètò tèmi wọlé, ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré forin díẹ̀ gbára gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń kí wa. I can see my people, Hosanna, and therefore here, Hosanna, I can see my people, Hosanna, I know they worry. Thank you very much. Ẹ má gbàgbé pé ẹ láti bá wa fètò yìí ránṣẹ́, dákun ẹ dábọ̀, ẹ má wa fètò yìí ránṣẹ́, please share, click on the share button. Please, if there are people that are supposed to be here that are not here, please remind them that the show has started. And please, if you are one of the people that I mentioned their names, to send me the address. Traditionally, I have not received your address, so ẹ bá wa fa address ránṣẹ́ ká bá lè fi ẹ̀bùn ṣékélé. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti gba ẹ̀bùn, wọ́n ti ń dúpẹ́, wọ́n ti sọ fún wa wípé àwọn ti rẹ́bùn àgbà. Please send us your traditionally, I think you're one of them. You have not sent me your address. Becky Ewaremo, maybe you were not here when I was mentioning your name. Please send me your address. We need to send you a token of appreciation for being here all the time and when we celebrated our 200th episode. Okay, it's a special one today, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go there. Let's go and celebrate. Okay. Let's go and celebrate. Sorry. you, sis. Oh yeah, let's go there. Gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá.
Ọdún ilé àtún ti wọlé wẹ́rẹ́. Amáyọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ kẹ́ni ó ṣe é púpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Àmójúbà gbogbo wa
Àmójúbà ayé pátá. Ọdún ilé àtún ti wọlé wẹ́rẹ́. Àti amáyọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ kẹ́ni ó ṣe é púpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Àmàpá àmójúbà gbogbo wa gbogbo wa. Àpá àmójúbà gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá. Ọdún ilé àtún ti wọlé wẹ́rẹ́. Amáyọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ kẹ́ni ó ṣe é púpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
àmójúbà gbogbo wa.
Gbogbo wa
Ọdún ilé àtún ti wọlé wẹ́rẹ́. Amáyọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ kẹ́ni ó ṣe é púpọ̀ ọdún láyé. Àmàpá àmójúbà
Gbogbo wa o.
àmójúbà gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá. Ọdún ilé àtún ti wọlé wẹ́rẹ́. Amáyọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ kẹ́ni ó ṣe é púpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Àti Ẹniọlá. Joyful noise. I know say this one go hit you. Àti Múlíkà ń fi yín o.
Ọba tó lọ pẹ́ nìyí àmọ́ pẹ́ wá. Ọ̀pọ̀ òjò ló ti rọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ilẹ̀ ọ̀kẹ́rẹ̀ tẹ̀ tí kì í mú o. Tí kì í mú ọ̀pọ̀ òjò ló ti rọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé.
Àbóyẹ kí lo já méjì. Kí lo báyìí?
Ló tún sọ́wọ́ yìí láyé.
Ó yá.
Kì í ṣọ́pọ̀ kì í ṣe ìfẹ́ wa. Bàtò pípẹ́ ní ìṣọ́dún láyé. Ọba tó ṣe yíyọ. Ọba tó ṣe yíyọ pẹ̀lú pẹ́.
Gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá.
Gbogbo múmìnì àti múmìnì láyọ̀ jọ pẹ̀lú ọdún tó ṣe púpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
ọmọ ìṣẹ́jú kí wákàtí fọ́nàpọ̀ ọjọ́ ló yí padà gbọdọ̀ sí ọ̀sẹ̀ ló parapọ̀ gbọdọ̀ ṣoṣù kóra jọpọ̀ àjọ̀dún.
Thank you, ìyàwó bàbá. Please share.
Àdìgbàjọ́ ìdí ìṣègùn àdùpẹ̀ láìnà kan ń bọ̀ tìlẹ̀ ayé. Àdùkà tó làjùpẹ̀ rẹ̀ kí ló ń tọ́lọ́run ò lè ṣe ara ó lọ́lọ́run ò ti dá.
Mi ò tí ì rí jó o. Where am I? Àti Muibat, àwọn àti Mariam. Àmójúbà gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá. Àti ti wọlé kátá. Ọpẹ́ ló tọ́ ọdún láyé. Lee updated. Yes, so. Lee updated. Àti Muibat. Àmójúbà gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá.
Ọ̀rẹ́ kí ló ṣe tí ìwà ò lè dúpẹ́? Bàbá tí ò jẹ́ kòtò òkú láyé. Oríṣiríṣi
Ó yá ijó ọpẹ́ dà. Ijó ọpẹ́ dà. Ṣèkínà àjọlá assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Eid Mubarak. Àmì o, ìwòye àmọ́dún. Ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ òkèlè ṣe púpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Padà fi ṣe fún ó máa ṣe o ìdáhùn náà padà fi ṣe fún wọn lọ sùn wẹrẹ ní báyìí wọn ni wọn sọ pé òun ní gbẹ o. ó gbọ́ wọn ní ìdí ìwọ òun ní.
Alájà sọ ìdílé ọ̀sẹ̀lá.
kò sí lọ́wọ́ wọn ò fi ṣe òótọ́ láyé.
Ijó ọpẹ́ wa rè o. Ẹkú àmọ́.
Dúpẹ́ àlàáfíà ọ̀rẹ́ wa.
Ẹjẹ́ àdúgbò àlàáfíà.
Fi tọrọ gbogbo nǹkan tí ọkọ rẹ̀ fẹ́ kó tó dà mọ́ ọdún kò ní.
Gbogbo wa múmìnì ayé pátá.
Àjẹkù ọdún
Ọpẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ òkèlè láyé. Ọlọ́run ṣé o ẹnu ọpẹ́ wa ò ní kan. Àmójúbà gbogbo wa múmi nà ayé tata àti ilé àtúntì wọlé wẹ́rẹ́. Ẹ̀mí wa ó sì pọ̀ ọdún láyé. Ẹ̀mí wa ó sì pọ̀ ọdún láyé. Ẹ má yọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ ló tọ́ o. Ẹ má yọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ ló tọ́. Ẹ̀mí ó ṣe é púpọ̀ ọdún. Okay, now let's do that to a stop for now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say this congratulations to especially all our Muslim fans for witnessing this year's Eid Mubarak to all of us. Akodun Asheishamodun Ọlọ́run ní fele ìṣàṣemọ. Where I come from, Odun Ton Lobai, we are from Ijebu, and today is what we call Ojujoba. It's another one in town. In fact, any ever day Ijebu Deremo, you would know that Odun Lolowo. So Adúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run Ọba tó dá wa sí ọ̀pọ̀ òjò ló ti rọ̀ sílẹ̀ ti fi mú olórin yẹn ní àkó àmójúbà gbogbo wa múmìnà ayé pátá ọdún iléyá tó ti wọlé wẹ́rẹ́ o ká má yọ̀ láyọ̀ ju ọpẹ́ ló tọ́ o kẹ̀mí wa ó ṣe púpọ̀ ọdún láyé Ọlọ́run kó dá gbogbo wa sí kó jẹ́ kẹ́mi wa kó tó pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún láyé gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ mùsùlùmí lórí ètò yìí mo tún kí yín káàbọ̀ sórí ètò mo sọ pé assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh àní bọ́pọ̀ lọ́lé olóró lẹ́ni. Let's talk about what we came here to do. Please, people, remember, I always remind us every time, please do me a favor. The best favor you can do me on this show is to share. We come here every week in, week out, to discuss important topics and how we can move our traditional wedding forward, how we can move the event industry forward, how we can make sure that we don't lose our values, how we can make sure that marriages are not something of the past. Marriage is a scam, Jari. You know, every time we bring all different topics here. But what we brought here today is something that I actually want us to talk about. It's about vendors. I don't know how many of us know who vendors are. Vendors, I mean event vendors. You know, to you, I would just want to engage us as I would always do. If you know any event vendor, who is an event vendor, please name them. Let's just talk about them. To you, who is an event vendor? Event vendors. I will not do event vendors. I will not event vendors. Let's first of all establish that, because I always try as much as possible on this show not to assume that people know. You know, people sincerely don't even know. Sometimes they don't know. So when we're talking about event vendors, who are we talking about? When we're talking about event vendors, who are we talking about? Hey, thank you for joining. Delectable Pebbles and Coco, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. Amole Adenik, hey, thank you for joining, sis. I can see Joyful Noise, I can see Lee Updated, I can see Sekina Tela Yawo Babatia. Thank you so much, Mommy Joanna Lucas. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please, if I don't mention your name, traditionally, thank you so much for joining. Please, if your name has scrolled up, hey, Auntie Eniola Alaga, thank you for joining, ma. God bless. Okay, now, guys, let's talk about this. Who are event vendors? When we say event vendors, who are we talking about? You need to know. Who are we talking about? Event vendors. Who are they? You know, who are the event vendors? Please let me know if you can see me clearly. It's looking funny here. Event vendors. I want to event vendors. I don't know what's going on with my screen though. Yeah, people are talking musicians. Thank you so much. Caterers, decorators. Thank you so much. God bless you. I want to talk about event vendors. Yeah, thank you. We have all different type of people in the event. People that work in the event industries. Let's call it that way. The event, yes, MCs, alagas, caterers, ushers, bakers, and so on and so forth. And live band, DJs. You know, servers and so on and so forth. Thank you so much, because I always like to establish and be sure that we all know who and who we're talking about when I bring a particular topic here. I don't want to just assume that everybody understand what I mean, and I'm so grateful to God for those that are the traditional wedding gift wrappers. I want on Deruyawo, I want Alaga, I want MC, I want caterers, I want DJ, photographers, videographers, and so on and so forth. People that come together to make that event work, like it's a team. Now, I'm going to be talking about these people for some time now. Now, the first one I want to talk about tonight is about their welfare. Because event vendors, I know they have been paid. I also want to find out, first of all, before we go, security. Thank you, Chacha. I want to ask, first of all, most people, when they come for this job, they've already been paid. I charge my bill and I've been paid. So I just want to find out, do I still expect that I'm taken care of? I mean, when I'm talking about being taken care of, let's first of all establish that, what do I mean when I'm talking about the welfare of event vendors? What do I mean? What's the welfare about? On what ground are we talking about when we say welfare of event vendors? Let's mention things that we think can be categorized as welfare of event vendors. Let's talk about it. What do you think? No, for instance, maybe I don't know if you want me to give you a clue, or I should just wait for somebody to just give us a clue, or just leave it on the head. I want to find out, when we talk about welfare of event vendors, what are we talking about? Thank you. Traditionally, say parking space is very, very, very important. In fact, that's one of the most important parts of event vendors welfare. I remember on one of the occasions I had an event, and I was the alaga, and the venue didn't have enough parking spaces. So by the time I arrived, there were I think it only has about 10 parking spaces, and all those parking spaces are already fully used. So by the time I got there, hey, Kemosik, here is everybody. God bless you, sis. Thanks for joining. By the time I got there, I was supposed to start the event as an alaga, because they had another what's it called? They had another they had the white wedding, a reception, and then I was supposed to do the next thing. Do you know that I was driving round? They were like, I'm here, you can see me, I'm in front, but there's nowhere to put my car. The whole of that place was all this, they don't even allow you to pay. It's not as if they will say, okay, pay. If they want us to pay, even if it's 50,000, I was ready to pay. But all this strictly residential, strictly no parking for I was driving around, myself and my drivers were driving around for almost 1 hour. And they will say, where do we? Eventually, they had to ask somebody to move their car. It's very important. Parking is one of the most important welfares of the event vendors. It's so important. Thank you, Sekina Teller. She says, feeding adequate time to carry out their duties. Thank you so much. Now, Kemosi, she said, thank you, sis. Taking care of their food, parking spaces. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to come back to that food. It will be the last thing I'm going to be talking about, because a lot of people, they tend to kind of frown at that food part. Tools to do my job properly. For example, caterers with adequate serving area. Thank you. MC, another guy with good microphone. I'm going to be noting these things down because they are so important. We're talking about feeding. We're talking about the tools like what's it called now? Mic for alagas, and then space to serve. Like some people now, they will have what's it called? They will have food vendors, and they will ask them to come and do small chops. They don't have kitchen. Imagine, they will say we want you to do on the spot small chops, and they don't have kitchen for the people to do their job. So those are very important. I've been to places where they will say no microphone for alaga. Somebody was actually telling me that you're supposed to have your own microphone. I've taken my microphone to places before where they couldn't, it doesn't match the whatever for the DJ. They couldn't plug it. So us having a microphone is one thing. Another thing is for them to be able to, Somebody said no more food for vendors. Kemostigma, please, can we expatiate more on that? Now, we've been able to mention a lot of things, a lot of people that are vendors and everything. Now, talking about their welfare, we've mentioned a lot of things. And I want to add one of the things that we need to. Somebody said time management for photographers and videographers. This is coming from Blanco Concept. Blanco Concept. Time management. In fact, Blanco Concept, I'm coming for you guys today. On my episode of Is It Just Me? It's about you guys today. I will put it up later. You will see it. Time management. And when we say time management, we need to actually expatiate on that. The things that will make our job easy. They think that we are ready to do our job. They usually believe vendors don't have the right to their food. Okay, this food thing is the last thing I'm going to be talking about, because if I start it now, we won't move on. Now I want to talk about even sitting areas. They expect you to eat in your house. Okay, I love that. I'm coming back to that food. I'm definitely going to be coming back from that food. Temitope Sikiru, I will come back to your points, ma. Now, sitting area. For example, let me give you an example. Um, Pebbles can testify to this. On Thursday, we went to Wolverhampton, which is about 3.5 hours drive to and fro, and we arrived at the venue. And we were asked to go and stand by one corner because every seat has been allocated. Imagine driving 3.5 hours and they are telling you to go and sit down at one corner, or you go and sit down in your car. How does that make you feel? Sitting arrangements. And I've been to a place where the mother of the bride actually insisted that they put the name of the alaga on the list. They are allocated tables and they put name of everybody on the table. And I saw my name. I think I posted that. That's something that I think that is the least that you can do for us. Some photographers will be on their feet all day. The photographers, for instance, they arrive at from like as early as 6 a.m. Blanco, please, sometimes photographers arrive as early as 6 a.m. because they want to capture the celebrant before they even dress up. They want to capture the outfit. They want to capture the moments they are still in their bathrobe. They want to capture the moments. And somebody is saying they should eat from their home. Tell me, how much food can you bring? Or you bring your food. Kò gbóúnjẹ wá láti ilé, ṣó fẹ́ gbé stove tó máa fi warm ẹni, ṣó fẹ́ gbé microwave tó máa fi warm ẹni. Somebody like a photographer that has been around from 6 a.m. They probably left when it is too early to eat. They left home when it's too early to eat. For instance, there's no way I'm going to be able to eat from 6 a.m. I can't. And for somebody to arrive at hotel at 6 a.m., that person must have left to maybe like 4 or 3 for a 3.5 hours drive, like the one I was talking about. Let me read what Mommy John Lucas said. He said, I think the vendors should be well looked after. Thank you, ma. Let me read. She said, I think the vendors should be well looked after. And they didn't go there to beg. Thank you, ma. They were invited, paid or not. It's just courtesy and for humanity's sake. Yes. Yeah. Then Becky says that I learned to have a table for vendors from you. Thanks for that. Yes. Anytime I have events, anytime we have events, this sister that is talking we happen to be in the same association. Whenever we have events, I always say to them, please let there be table for vendors. And if there is no table for vendors, maybe the hall is so booked up, let there be an area somewhere within the premises where the vendors can go and at least chill out for a reason. For example, look at what Blanco said. Blanco is a photographer and a videographer. You are 14 to 15 hours on your feet. 14 to 15 hours on your feet, and you come as a team, maybe a team of 3 or 4. Sometimes you want to take turns in taking a break. I'm sure nobody wants to have an event that you want your vendor collapse. If a vendor that is a photographer comes with a team of 3 or 4, and then they say, okay, let's take turns in taking a break, maybe 30 minutes break, I think they should find a place to sit, a place to be able to stretch their legs, and a place for them to be able to put something in their mouth. Because I've seen people, the moment I posted this, people have started saying, maybe they've been paid, they should have eaten from their house, they should have done that. That one said they should carry their food along. At least when they are going to work, they carry their food along. You cannot compare a 5 to 9 job to a job that I'm doing, and I'm traveling 3.5 hours. And even if I carry my food, am I going to carry my microwave? Am I to carry my stove to warm the food? Remember that in a 5 to 7 work environment, there is canteen, there is time for break, there is time for everything. So on that day that I was giving an example, myself and Pebbles, and our drummers, we drove almost 4 hours to the venue, and we couldn't find a place to sit. We had to buy our own drink. I don't think that is good enough. Hey, MC Monites, Lema, thank you for joining us. Somebody said they made the occasion colorful and without them, no show. Thank you, ma. Sekina said, I second this. It's lack of courtesy and decency for to not cater for your vendors. The very least is feeding, drinks. They are there to make your day memorable, regardless of collecting payment. Thank you so much. Hey, MC, when I say give me everyone and our ever gorgeous moderator, thank you, ma. Mommy. Ṣèyí táwọn àgbàlagbà bá ti ń mí kanlẹ̀. Auntie Eniola, please, I want to know the meaning of that. Please, so remember that you can call us on this show to leave your voice notes or to leave your opinion. You can call me on +44 7828 500 938 to leave your opinion on this show. For those that are just joining us tonight, the ninth episode of ETO IGBEYAWO is season 21, episode 3. We're talking about the welfare of vendors. And when we're talking about vendors, we are talking about event vendors. We're talking about caterers, we're talking about MCs, we're talking about drummers, we're talking about musicians, DJs, makeup artists, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about their welfare. Now, we've mentioned a lot of things that are supposed to provide. We're talking about providing food for them, food and drink. We're talking about providing a place for them to at least rest their food. Even if they don't have seats for them in the party, maybe because for example, when I had my birthday, I had a lot of guests, so I couldn't provide seats within the premises for my vendors, but I made provision for them in a small room where they can go and chill out and then at least eat, And anytime I have events, I always have a table for vendors, and that's one thing that people don't do. On this show as well, I've done an episode of who is to take care of bridesmaids and groomsmen, especially during traditional wedding. So people have forgotten. They forget the vendors, they forget the bridesmaids, they forget all these girls. They buy a show, they are on their heels, they have been dancing all day, and then when it's time for them, there's no seat for them. Things like this I believe it should just be a matter of oversight, and it should not be so. Somebody said, chicken really rice. Antinola, means at the boy rice without. What if you rice without meat? Don't mind them. What about their guests? Did they not eat from their house? Okay, now let's talk about this issue of this issue of food. It's something that we really need to emphasize on. As I said to us, none of us is hungry. Me, I'm not hungry, to the glory of God. Inside my freezer, I have all different kind of soups. I have all different kind of food, and you know that at least in this UK, nobody is hungry. So I think the least that people can do for vendors is to make sure that at least they get them fed, depending on the kind of job they are doing. Now, I am not giving that as an excuse for any vendors to go and be doing what's the language that they used to be or Larry, or what did I call it? I'm not saying that we should go there and be, claiming rights or something, but there should be proper provision for them. Now, let's move on from this one. Whose responsibility should it be? Should it be the celebrant? Should it be the couple's responsibility? Should it be the event planner, or should it be the responsibility of the caterer, especially when it comes to the feeding? Balabulu. We should not go there and be doing balabulu. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. We should not go there and start doing like my jobbery. Some of our vendors can be very funny. I'm sorry to mention him. I hope I will not be beaten up with this. Sometimes our musicians and drummers can be funny sometimes. We need to kind of stay on our lane. If they give us, to the glory of God, yes. If they don't give us, we have to find a way of not, embarrassing ourselves. Now, before I forget, let's find out. Hey, somebody has left a voice, so thank you so much. I will play that voice note in a minute. Whose responsibility is it? She responsibility and to share. Hey, mommy, is yeah. God bless you, ma. Whose responsibility is it? Is it the responsibility of the planner? Is it the responsibility of the of the celebrants, or the responsibility of the whoever? Whose responsibility should it be? Somebody said, one major lesson my husband has taught me is to eat very well before leaving the house for a party. Yes, you have to eat very well before leaving home for a party. But when you are a guest, for example, if you are a guest, if you want to go for an event, you have 5 hours in bed. But for some of us who are vendors, for example, I told you that the job went to do on Thursday. I drove 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours to the place. Even go to Jerunga, you know, Otima digest, you know, and then we got there and we were still working. We were not even looking for food. We just wanted to stretch our leg and sit down since we've been driving for that long. I drove to Leicester one day, 5.5 hours. And then there was nowhere for us to sit. It is not right. So those are the things we are talking about. Somebody said some food vendors are always looking down on other vendors. That one is very, very bad. Now, please don't let us forget. Somebody said, lay up, said it is event planners' responsibility because the celebrants has given them the job to do. Okay. It's event planner's responsibility, and I think it should be something that the event planner should liaise with the celebrants and let them be aware. For example, while I was still doing event planning, I called the attention. I still do it, you know, when I have the time, but it's just that I don't do it as often as I used to do. I did event planning for years and years. I used to call the attention of my clients, I mean the celebrants. I call their attention to things that could be oversight. For example, most of them are not even aware that they're supposed to make provision for you remember they just do one party once in a while. We will do party all the time. Yeah, it is the duty of the event planner to call the attention that hall. If your guests are 200, make sure you get a hall of 220 because one of the tables will be for vendors, or 210. Always call their attention to it. Mommy Toya Shamu says the parents of the couple know where you come from. They know you have to travel and make provision for the vendors. Some of them, they don't even think about it. Some of them, it is sincere oversight. Some of them, they just can't be bothered. Event planner responsibility and the mother of the bride too. Thank you, ma. It should be the responsibility of both family and the family that invited them. Give their own table and make them happy. Thank you, ma. Becky says it is the responsibility of the celebrant to cater for the bridesmaids, etc. However, the responsibility is to be carried out by the event planner. Thank you so much, ma. Water will go a long way. Yes. Okay. Let me quickly listen to Ejo, FEO, Rochelle. If you want to send me a voice note, remember you can do that on +44 7828 50093. That's +44 7828 5000938, or you can call me live on +44 7828 5000938. You can also request to be in the show, and that will be highly appreciated. Even if the event planners are to do, the family should be involved. Okay, let me listen to this. Let's listen to this voice note. Once we do that, then we will move on. Thank you so much. This is coming from tradition.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to quickly contribute to the whole vendors and who caters for them and who looks after them. Thank God we've established who the vendors are. And my belief, personally, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying this is exactly how it should be. For me personally, I think vendors is what has caused, not people's personal experience, is what has caused a lot of celebrants to be quite fussy. And we use that for wanting of a word when it comes to vendors, because some vendors lose their respect and cause problems for others by not concentrating on the job in hand. You are there to do a job. Yes, I totally agree with all comments that have been made that, out of courtesy demands, etc., etc. And 100% because you have also been invited. But you have been invited to do a job. And that should be our focus. That should be the full point of what we are there to do. Me as an individual, as an Alaga, as an MC, as an event management individual, I don't focus on food. God knows me multi-care, but that is my style. Because it's happened to me before, years back when I was quite young and starting the industry, and nowadays as things have evolved, as changes come about, everybody now, a lot of people go by caterers that do per head and etc. etc. So I don't rely, personally, on what the celebrant or person that's running the occasion is going to give me, because anything can happen at any time. Honestly, I've been to an event where they said one plate per person, once they fed one, everybody has come up once, one parlement. So in that sense, what I'm trying to say here is that we as vendors should focus on the job in hand. That's not your business. If they serve you, well and good. If they don't serve you, can give the person that gave you the project, you can give them that feedback afterwards. But that shouldn't be your focus point. The focus point is getting a good job done. Yes, it can be frustrating. Yes, it can be annoying, especially for vendors who, like has been mentioned, have been on their feet for several hours a day. I totally understand and I totally respect that. But let's prepare our mind that, listen, I'm there to do a job. If they give me, it should be a bonus. This is my own opinion. People, please don't come for me. I'm just saying my own opinion. I don't think it should be a must. Even when I do my ladder job and they'll be like, take away, wow. I don't come there for the food. I'm not there for the food. I'm there to do a job and go about my business. You see? So I think that's what we need to try and possibly change our focus. Other things that can hinder our job. That's what we need to focus on. What is it that I'm there for? The job I'm there for, and what is it that is going to hinder my job? If what the service they're providing, or the courtesy, or the taking care of they're providing is hindering my job, then we need to raise our voices. Other than that, my dear, let's just leave it to God. God bless us all, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I definitely 100% support the point that Yemzi traditionally has just said. Now, now, I said, you know that I kept on saying we'll come back to that food later, we'll come back to that food later. To be honest with you, people like me, when I'm busy, I don't get hungry. That's another thing about me. That's one of the reasons that I've been adding weight. Because that go whatever. When I'm busy, I don't get hungry. Because my focus is on my work. That's why most of the time, by the time I now get home, that's why we are adding weight and the care is getting bigger. You know, but some people are in fact, I used to have a drummer that I stopped working with. So about the day combine, Jack Robinson. This person has started looking for food. If you don't know what small chops go, abandon in do small chops. I warned this person several times until one day I told him that I'm never going to call you again. So with this thing, I like to balance it. Like traditionally rightly said, focus. Your major thing for going there is your work. Your work. And even the fact that you want to eat, some people will just go and sit down without taking permission. You know, when you're supposed to be working, why is it not allowing me to accept this call? Oh, Jesus Christ, don't do this to me, please. It's not allowing me to. Blanco, I'm going to send you the request, sir. You can accept. Maybe that will help. It's not allowing me to bring you in. Can you exit? Then I'll send it to you. You can accept. So, in any way, under no circumstance must you allow the issue of food affect your job. The first thing you go there to do is to deliver your work, and it's a privilege. It is not a right. It's not entirely. It's not entirely an entitlement. I have seen where people go and be fighting and embarrassing themselves just because of food. Blanco, please exit, sir. Let me send you the request. It's not allowing me to accept you. I don't know why. Maybe when you exit, I can send you the request and you can come in. Now, hey, Mama Yodele Ogos is here. God bless you, man. I don't know how to say that name. People will be fighting over souvenirs. It's totally wrong. Okay, now let me send you to you, Blanco. Let me send the request to you. Maybe that would help. I don't know why it's not accepting. Please don't let us embarrass. You know. And we can put snacks in our bags. If they give us fine, they don't give us fine. But what I just don't like, hey, guess who is here, people? Blanco Concerts. They are multiple award-winning photographer and videographer, one and only. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much, sir. Welcome to the show.
Okay. From my own perspective as a vendor, as you did mention earlier, sometimes we travel so long and we get to the venue as early as 7 a.m., especially when it's
weddings.
And we are meant to be there till like 12 midnight sometimes. So it's not possible that we carry a cooler from our home and everything and start warming it at the venue. So when we get there, sometimes we are not expecting to be treated specially. But at maybe 1 o'clock, you know, the family members sometimes have a provision for their guests, especially maybe they are coming from a distance or they are coming from abroad as well. And most of the time they forget that there's this type of vendors, maybe like myself, or the decorators sometimes, or the musician that comes in at 2 p.m. that want to start setting up, and they are there till a certain time as well. It's not our right, as someone did mention, but it's more like a courtesy. And as you did say, some of the vendors are ourselves. We don't respect ourselves. And as you said, do your job That's your main contract. That's
Then.
the reason you are there. But if you respect yourself at a certain time and you are working with fellow good vendors, I mentioned earlier some food vendors. So some of them know you one-on-one, but some that don't know you. When you go to them, someone like me, I'm carrying my camera to at least show that I'm actually here and I'm working. And some of them, maybe when they are dishing food for guests, you know, and they just give something to you shabbishly. Like, oh,
yeah, they will shock it in your face. Oh, yeah, I know, just Egba.
yes. And other type of thing, like, you're not here for the food, but you are hungry at a certain time.
Yeah.
At 8 p.m. And you've been there since 7 a.m. in the morning. And they just tend to like disrespect you, and sometimes you're like, okay, is it just because of rice and eromeji or something like that? And that's kind of disheartening. And you know, if there's a provision, yeah, I've worked with event planners. As we did say, there's a table for vendors, and you'll be treated with respect. Each vendor will have their name tag on their table and everything. So at a certain time, my wedding now, I'm working with about 2 or 3 other guys. I can control myself sometimes, but my other team might not be able to control themselves. Even power at a certain time. But at a certain time, I think it should just be courtesy. It's not that it's our right. It should be courtesy that whoever is planning the event should make a bit of provisions for, you know, yeah, maybe a musician coming with a band member of about 12 of them. And sometimes when they are not playing, they are forming a long queue.
Yeah.
And you know, like sometimes the guests and everybody don't really like that. But it's not an acceptable thing that people should not be taken care of.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I just hope that we can actually bring this to the attention of people that actually need it. Because like everybody has said, this is the duty of 3 people as far as I'm concerned. The event planner, the caterers, and the celebrants. You know, they need to work in hand, and it's not even all about food alone. Sometimes they don't come at a joke or sit there and we're comfortable. Like somebody has already said, there's a lot of other things that is involved as well, you know, to make our job easy.
So let me just make my last point now.
Yeah.
As I did say earlier, sometimes someone like me now, I'm taking picture of the bride and the groom because of time management. And this bride and groom, before I get engaged, they've gone to my page, they've seen some pictures, they've seen some videos. But because I don't have that time, or the timing is not going as perfect as planned, now I want to take the couple out to go and do some quick 10-20 minutes
outdoor pictures.
Yeah, but the time is not there. And at the end of the day, everything now like, oh, the photographer is not acting friendly, you know, stressed because this is what you paid for, and you're not getting all things done. Not because it's not perfect. It's not a good issue. And you know.
And I think that's one topic that we need to talk about: time management among vendors. How the one person can affect the other. The timing of one person can affect the other. If you don't do your own timing, you exceed your time. How it can affect the next vendor, you know. So we need to also talk about, maybe on one of these occasions, I will bring that back here as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody. That's coming from Blanco, talking from the perspective of a photographer. We need to work. I've seen your voice notes, man. I'm going to play it in a minute. Now, I want to quickly emphasize on a few things here. Number one, major thing is make sure you do your duty. Some people, they use that food. They use that food to kind of disrupt. Like I said, I used to have a drummer. And imagine, only to tell me, mama disgrace me kiri, or mama lay beer, or mama lay drink. One go down. At one point, I had to stop letting him come with me. You it is totally uncalled for. If you're a vendor, your major thing is, if your mama call me, I can't share any. You do ni drink, doesn't talk about small chops. So that kind of one is not right. Somebody said, Mommy Ashamu said, the health and safety of vendors is crucial too. You don't want them to collapse. Yes, ma. their well-being has to be considered even by the law. Yes, thank you so much, ma. That's another thing. Èèyàn tó wà lórí ìdúró for 12 hours, tẹ́ ẹ̀ fún ní drink, tẹ́ ẹ̀ fún lómi, tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ pé ó yẹ kó ti gbóúnjẹ wá láti ilé, ó yẹ kó ti gbómi. Ṣé ẹni tó wà nídìí kámẹ́rà, ó fẹ́ ráyè lọ máa gbómi nínú mọ́tò, ó fẹ́ ráyè lọ máa sọ pé òun fẹ́ sáré warm oúnjẹ. How possible is that? This thing is all about balance. And I think it is the responsibility of free people. Some people, Auntie Buki said, some food lay updated. She said some food vendors, they place more God over the food. Yes, I've been to a place where I went to work. I would then I used to do like full package. I was the decorator, I was the makeup artist, I was doing a lot of things on that event that day. And when I set up decoration, one fellow changed as the alaga. So we're like, concerning for money, but I'm like, the woman she feel chicken and you can see. So and another thing again is people judge you by the look of things. Decorators, because when we are decorating, we are wearing jeans and we are using maybe a short shaking for that coffee shaking. So I now went to change and I was dressed up all like alaga, and then she said my face is familiar. My face is familiar. Money Benny, my face is familiar. Anything more jeans now or t-shirt, rice, gulenu. You know, because they just think that because you just come like that, they think why people should be treated properly and equally irrespective of what they're wearing. Somebody said the one that that one that witchcraft that treats people the way you want to be treated. Yes, makeup can affect photographers. Yeah, the makeup artists, they take forever sometimes. I understand. As a makeup artist, as a professional makeup artist that I am, when I go to work, Mama insists on the celebrant. There's a way I treat my celebrant. But some celebrant will ask you to arrive at 7, and you'll get there at 7 or way. You know, they will not bath until like 10, and then that will eat into another person's time. But that's not the topic for today. I'm going to bring back how vendors' time can affect the other and can affect the whole event. That's something that we need to talk about as well. How do we curb time? How do we curb timing? How do we curb it? How do we do it so that it does not a live band nearly beat me up because time you know, because they did the kai, they did this, they did that, and they now gave the mic to us, and the live band got angry. You know, meanwhile, we're not the one. You know, it's a long story. We will come back to that at another time. Don't let us be distracted. I haven't seen any vendor that will be looking for food before delivering the service. Can vendors ask for breaks at a certain time? Definitely not so. For courtesy purpose, vendors should be treated nicely. Yeah, we need to get to that point. Midday says thank you so much. Traditionally said, I think we're to reach a balance. Some vendors feel so special that they can't queue for food. They now expect someone to get them food for or end up pushing it, and celebrants should take this on board. Well, it depends on the work that this person is doing. If the work that, for example, photographer now, drone jump queue, you know, you can't expect a photographer that is working that quickly have like 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes break. That's the end of the queue. Some things has to be, you know, they have to be treated in a way, and there's nothing wrong in allocating somebody to attend to vendors. I would normally allocate somebody to attend to my vendors because I know that they are working, they are on duty. Arrange your event planner to ensure that they are taken care of. The last job I did at the end of the program, there was no seat for me. That's coming from the updated. To top it all, they said it's only beans left. Madam, Kosi Orange Mo, all the way from Manchester to London. Imagine the caterer. That's bad. The caterer said, Madam, hello too. You shouldn't be. When we are not in Nigeria, how much is food? Wow, you wear so many hats. Yes, I do. Only you, more party planner, yes, I do all of this thing by the grace of God, and God has been faithful. You need itineraries and agenda for time management. Thank you so much. We need to my head bustle. Okay, let me quickly play this. I want to come back to something here. I was going to ask, should we be putting it as part of our terms and condition? I don't know. What's the solution? What is the way forward? And let me quickly do this before I forget. I want to give a shout out to an amazing woman, Favor Catering, Favor Caterers, and whatever. They are called Favor Caterers. This woman is amazing. She's amazing. Any woman, this woman sees you as an event, not just me. Every event vendor, no matter appreciates woman, she will take care of all vendors on ground. If she notices that you're so busy that you cannot have time to sit down and eat, this woman will ask her girls to pack your food. She will attend to every vendor, give you all the food, and even put drink in it. That woman is amazing, and I have to give this special shout out to her. I hope and I wish that all caterers can be like that woman. And then some people that are in charge of drinks, you'll be begging them for drink. It is not right. Let me quickly play this. Oh, this is coming from Auntie Eniola. Let me quickly play it. My brother have just said, sometimes they will tell you they are going to start events. Just like what my brother have just said. Sometimes they will tell you they are going to start an event, say 9 o'clock, and you're there waiting 3 hours. You left your home as early as 5 a.m. or 6. Courtesy demand. Then me personally, I don't even need. Mother is my witness. When I'm doing something, when we finish, I just want to drink something. Little courtesy goes a long way. And when a caterer is handing over food for you, shadowy, and shower photogenic. Because the bride's mom will have promised, and Emma worry, they will look after you. But by the time they are all busy here and there, they'll forget. So it's the responsibility of the event planner to look at it when they come. Like they look after their own people too. And the event planner will not come people. They look after their own team. So they don't look for your team. I'm not saying that people should go there and disrespect themselves, but even if it is water, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma. That's coming from Antoniola Alaga, all the way from Dublin. Thank you, ma. Now, it's about courtesy. It's about balancing things up. It's about simple things. It's about, planning and prior, So I just believe that some things should not be. Now, I wanted to ask, do you think we should be putting as our terms and conditions as to when we come, for example, I'm coming from a distance and I came there and you cannot attend to me properly. Do you think we should insist on having it as a part of our terms and conditions? How do we move on from here? That's number one question. Now, another question again is the welfare of vendors when we are working local is even okay. The welfare of vendors when you are working in a destination weddings or abroad is another thing. I went to an event on one occasion, and I was the Alaga as well as the MC for the day. And the makeup artist came to knock on my door in the middle of the night, about 2 a.m. The makeup artist came to knock on my door. I think that was, it was at Portugal. And I was like, who is that? 2 a.m. He said I'm the makeup artist. They didn't get a room for me. And they said I should come and squat with you. I said, Nibo, anything that kind of thing. I told them that she should insist on getting a room. It's someone I've never met in my life. There was no prior arrangement. So this person, obviously, they didn't make arrangement for this person traveling all the way from London to Portugal. And they didn't make provision for where she's going to sleep. It should never be, honestly speaking. Me, I'm very strict. In fact, recently, I reduced my my intakes of I reduced my intake of destination weddings because my terms and condition has grown really high. I would rather work local because sometimes when you are local, you work on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's no money they're going to pay you for going a weekend away that can be up to that. Sometimes like officially, I feel more money. If they don't meet my, that's why you see me nowadays. I don't post destination weddings. I used to do a lot of destination weddings. My terms and condition has gone stricter. If you cannot meet my terms and condition, I am not coming. My welfare from the moment I leave the entrance of my house till I come back to my house is very important. It has happened to me before that I think that was his pain. I can't remember. The bride's mom told me that, please, I'm sorry, I will give you the money for cab to the airport. Because I said I have to take money for cab and after party, she didn't give me the money. And since then, every of my money has to be complete before I leave home if it's a destination wedding. If you're having a destination wedding, you must be able to prepare, especially abroad. Local shinda, you can be your money, room 101. They said it's the other guy here. Can I come and squat with you? I think that was the most ridiculous one I've ever experienced. Please don't let anybody treat you anyhow. I think some of us are taking all this thing on board because of desperation. We have to balance it. Let's be careful. Let's not, abandon our duty, all in the name of food or all in the name of welfare. But like Mommy Toya Shamu has made a very, very, very important point. She said, I think that it could be stated in the contract. If you are at an event for more than 3 hours, you need food and a break. And also she said something about our welfare. No matter can drop dead. Like that when you collapse. All in the name of whatever, because sometimes we talk about all these things, we forget about the long term. This our job sometimes can take us to very late. Imagine somebody driving 5.5 hours, and as soon as you get there, you're working. And I think that was the last time I ever took a distant job that I did not have an hotel. I insist, if it's going to be that far away, I must have an hotel. I must have a room that I'm going to lodge into. And then when I finish, then I can go back into the room and rest before I start making another journey. So all these things are very important. You go and be saying, so that they will not say, it's the job I came to do, that they will not say, and you go and collapse. God forbid. You know that the event will continue. The event will continue. If God forbid, if anybody could have come and beg me, say and party for that day. So we need to actually think about our welfare, like we have said. Some of these things, they're not just ordinary things. They are things that we're supposed to know about, and we're supposed to be taken care of. One of these days, I will bring back the issue of time management among vendors and also this issue of African time. We've treated it before, but I think we will talk about it again. And the Lord will help us. Let me quickly read comment before I go to Abalakini Kinshe. Today I see Miss Abalakini Kinshe be a meta. Let me read what Lee Updated said. I think that's the last. I said, better. I think we should put it in our terms and conditions. It now depends on the vendors to behave well, because a lot of the events we anchor are out of our zone, very far away. Yes, you're right. Then if not, why not? Terms and conditions, Lole She. Yes, that's coming from Becky. Yes, it's true. The lady came to my room and was begging at 1 a.m. that we should please allow her to sleep in my room. Anything you really like me. I will have written in my terms. Yeah, she writes in your terms and conditions. Sorry if I miss your comments. MC Moon Knight is saying something. She said weekend away will take 3 days from you. Yes, that's what I mean. I would rather take local jobs. I'm telling you, by 500, by 300, the stress, the risk, and everything. Except if I'm in the mood, thinking like, okay, they're no more, all these destination weddings, they need to pay you, they need to take care of you from the moment you leave your house till you come back to your house. So we need to actually discuss all these things properly. And if there's nothing wrong in discussing it and stating it in your terms and conditions, so that they will know, so that so I pray that God will help us. Now, let's quickly go to Abalakini Kinshe. This Abalakini Kinshe here is a true life story of somebody whose husband started fighting. Obiomo Mary, and the man said, I don't want any more child. And fortunately or unfortunately, this woman happened to get pregnant for the 5th baby, whether by accident or purpose, I don't know. And this man started fighting. I told you I don't want any more child. Why did you go and get pregnant? No one can see. That woman, push woman, go lot to show me. After so much, what about my life? It's risky. I don't want to do it. The man insisted. And this woman, no one was showing. Unfortunately, she lost her life in the process of sharing. And guess what? A year later, the man got married to another woman, and this new woman gave birth to 2 children. The reason this man said this woman should go and share you? Me will fail more see. Now, if you are the family of this woman, what would you do? God forbid, I just want advice on this. When I saw that post, the person that posted it, I was like, I wish I could see the man. I mean, I don't know. You actually pushed your man, pressurized your wife, and insisted, to be married, said, fake calm, and carelessness in me. Yeah, you have to get rid of the pregnancy. I didn't prepare for that. I didn't plan for that. You have to. That's one. And the second one, the man, it's a similar case. The man said, mi ò fẹ́ tó bá ti di ju méjì lọ, So this woman went to go and do family planning and did not have more than 2 children, only for the man to go and have a baby mama that now have 2 other children for him. That's the 2 occasions that are very similar. So what would you do in your case of let him go and meet his wife in heaven? That's so sad. It happened. It's a real life story. Victim of evil circumstance. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. He said. And what happened to I don't know, maybe not everybody know about that, not everybody want to do that, but it happened like that. She got pregnant. Well, my own point is, okay, you said you don't want this. Àbúrò mi sóyìnbó, ó ní nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ á ní pàtẹ́wọ́ fún mi dé. Ó mà ṣe bó, sure, he doesn't want child, but kò condom. Evil spirits nìyẹn. You kill our daughter and you married another that gave birth to 2. Na juju we go take. This thing it's a real thing. It's a real life thing. Thank you for joining us, OIFN International. God bless you. SDF Weddings, thank you so much for joining us. We are just about to round up. I hope you'll be able to go back to this, because in fact, SD Weddings, I would like you to watch this if it's possible after, because we don't gossip about you now, all you event planner. We've been gossiping about you before you came. So guys, okay, that's one case. The other case is the one that actually and now the other person is old. She's now at a menopause. Imagine somebody that said no, only 2. If you have more than 2, I'm going to kill you. I don't want it. And now the woman went to protect herself from having more babies, and now the woman is at menopause, even though she really does want more babies. She really does want it, but because she wanted to obey her husband, she didn't have more than 2, only for her to discover that the man actually went aside to have 2 from an extramarital affairs. This is a man that nearly killed her because of this. So what would you do? What would you do if we were that woman? Let me read what Mama Ashamu says. It says there's nothing you can do, but women need to hold their ground. Women don't get pregnant on their own. I will never respect him again if I were her family. I think from my own point of view, but my perspective is, please, as a woman, the marriage will end. We risk our lives a lot. And some of us, we're kind of gullible, at the beginning, like somebody that's had 2, because the man doesn't want more than 2. The man is saying, if you have 3, you are the one that will raise that child all by yourself. The man was stressing her and saying, if you have 3, you will be the one that will raise this child by yourself. And the man was actually bullying the woman. And because of that, the woman went to make sure that she couldn't get pregnant again. When she was now even though she really wanted more than 2, and now when she now was at menopause, she can no longer have children. She realized that the man actually have 2 after the first 2 that she had. Imagine. So what would you do in that situation? So I don't know. People always say discuss how many children you want to have before you get into marriage. Have a conclusion. Have a whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. With the other man that said he wanted 2, but eventually had another 2 elsewhere. Sure, he doesn't love the woman, but wanted to be with her to secure his insecurities in life, to make him complete. So what would that woman do? Remember that what would that woman do? What would you have that woman do at that point? That kind of woman will hate this person forever. And that's why, I don't know, am I supposed, as a woman, if for example, if my husband says I don't want more than 2, am I supposed to go ahead and have more than 2? The one that had more than 4 now, she ended up dying. This thing is a little bit scary. Because people say discuss what you want to do in marriage, make sure you agree, make sure you have an agreement. But this is agreement that people are going behind to go and break and everything. And most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, most of the time, it falls back on women. And that's why, and if you want to leave that man, like somebody said, you left your husband because he's cheating, and then you ended up being a side chick to a married man. It's a little bit funny. I just say that we should do what pleases us. We should think about our happiness, about our safety, in fact, most importantly, your safety. Most importantly, your safety. Your safety is very, very important. To me, I think that should be number 1 thing. Irrespective of what the man say, irrespective of how the man threatens, your safety is more important. Like that woman now, out of fear, out of I don't want to lose my marriage, out of I don't want my husband to get offended, she went to go and abort, and then in the process, she lost her life. It is sad. Now this man that made her go and abort, that forced her and pushed her to go and abort, ended up marrying another woman, and now they've had 2 kids together. And tó lóun for ọmọ so ọmọ wa di mẹ́fà, ìwọ tó lóun fẹ́ ju mẹ́rin lọ. We have to borrow ourselves some brain, like people will say, "Can you any brain?" It's tricky. It's tricky. Me, I can't advise the woman to leave her husband, but he knows that his baby mama will complete the number of children. He can imagine, please. To me, most importantly, is about your safety, your mental health, and then make sure that you stay alive to raise your children. Imagine now, the whatever, the new wife will not be the one raising your own children. I mean, how do you explain to your own children that you die because you're trying not to have another child? If there was an opportunity for you to explain, the children would just be wondering. Someone said the woman should bakamu on God, but I can't advise a woman to leave her home for another mad woman. The Lord will help us. That's all I can say. A lot of times when people start screaming about DNA, because sometimes I look at this men that are screaming DNA. I'm not saying a woman should commit infidelity, but the infidelity that men are committing, Lord have mercy on us. May we not marry our enemy. God forbid bad thing. The Lord will help us. Well, again, Moshiman Solori to in yourself. Oh, man, when you can't get up, àmọ́ òun fa ọmọ fún yín náà ṣáà ní kì í gbà fún wa tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn jàpọ̀jàpọ̀ tó ń gbọ́ sórí tó bá wa dá sí tó lóyún. Thank you so much everybody for your unending support, for always being here day in day out. I really do appreciate you. God bless you. A tún fẹ́ fi àdàgbà ètò yìí rọ̀ ó tún di ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àmọ́ èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù ni mo wá sọ fún yín wípé lílọ ni mo tún ti ń lọ yìí. Ogun lọ kò dé kò ní bá mi, ogun dé kò bá wọn kò ní jẹ́ tiyín lọ́lá Ọlọ́run. Mo gbà ní àdúrà wípé ayọ̀, ìdùnnú, àlàáfíà tí mo fẹ́ fi yín sílẹ̀ ní òun náà ni máa padà wá bá yín lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lógo Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n fàsìkò sọ gbogbo wa wípé láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o, mo ní láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Ẹ̀yin ò ní forígun, èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ o, mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ kò ní forí sọ̀gì o. Láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé, láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much everybody. God bless you. Becky, please send me your address. God bless you. See you next week by the grace of God. God bless you everybody. Thank you.
Àsìkò ti tó ìtumọ̀ ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀sọ́ traditional wedding gbogbo lólùfẹ́ mi sílẹ̀ ẹ̀sọ́ traditional wedding ẹ̀bùn lóríṣiríṣi ìwé ẹ̀sọ́ traditional wedding
Yàwó bàbá.
lórúkọ ètò náà ẹ̀sọ́ traditional wedding ètò ìgbéyàwó tó tọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n. Traditional wedding. Jessica. Ètò lẹ́sọ̀ traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Lẹ́sọ̀ traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Lẹ́sọ̀ traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram. Every Tuesday on Facebook. 6 p.m. UK time, every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye, let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye.
Let's talk traditional wedding. Thank you so much everybody. See you next time by the grace of God. God bless you. Bye.